From the sketch of the graph y equals f of x given below, determine what y equals negative f of 3x plus 4 should look like. Okay. So we have a few transformations here. In what order should I apply my transformations? I always start from the inside working out. So the first thing I see is this 3x. What happens when you multiply the input by a number like 3? Well, 3 is greater than 1. Okay, so modifying the input by multiplying it by 3 will result in a horizontal compression, a shrinking. Okay, so what used to be out here with an x-coordinate of 3 is now going to shrink in by a factor of 3, and it's going to be here. Okay. This point up here appears to be at 1.5, so you might say 3.5, and well, now it should be at 1/2. Okay. This point here with an x-coordinate of 0, well, 3 times 0 would still be 0, so it doesn't really change. Okay. These points out here at 1/2, well, now that would be down at 1/6, then this point here would now, that I might guess is about, because it's not properly labeled, but I might guess that this point out here is about 2.5, so 5/2, so it would go to 5/6. And we can just sort of compress the whole thing here. So let's get a color out. So this point stays the same. It's going to come down really quickly, then it's going to shoot back up. Open circle there because this point actually is not on the curve, so we got to make sure it's still open. And then it just looks exactly the same. So, straight up and down. There, the whole thing has sort of shrunk. So that, it's a good idea to sketch them as we go. So that's y equals f of 3x. We've changed the input by multiplying it by 3. Now what are we going to do? Well, apply the minus to the whole thing. So that's the next step. And what is modifying the output? Because we've applied our f of x. Right? We've applied f. That function has done. So now we're changing the output. Okay, so what does that result? Well, what does that result in? That flips it in the x-axis. Okay, so this point is going to come down here. This point is going to come down here. Okay, the whole thing sort of flips over. These other nice reference points are now going to sort of be up here. So we'll get something that looks a little like this. And so that's my, get rid of all these little, oops, deleted the whole thing. Silly me. Okay, so it comes down, up, down, there we go. So now I've got y equals negative f of 3x. And then the last thing to do, well, we've got to add on that 4. Now, let's not use green. We've already got green. Let's use orange. So we got to add on the 4. And what does that end up doing? Well, that just shifts everything up by 4. So these things, these two blue points that are at a height of 1, well, now they're up at a height of 5. And this peak, well, it was a peak to start off with. Now it's transformed. Now it's sort of a valley, a lowest point. It's down at a height of -3, so it would move up to 1. And these ones that are at -1, well, you add 4 to that, you'll be up at 3. And let's not forget that one of them should be an open circle. And there we go. Y equals negative f 3x plus 4. Okay? And just one last time, we'll get rid of all our work and just show the final result. Okay, so starting at 3, come down there to about 1/6. Okay. And then it was at -3, so now it's down here. And there we go. Nice little compressed. And then it flipped, and then we shifted it up.